Playoff time. Welcome back, everybody, for our Game 1 review. The early games, we got Boston, Carolina, and we got Toronto, Tampa Bay. If you're a fan of either team and don't want to see the other side, timestamps down below. Tampa Bay, Toronto on the back half. Boston and Carolina on the front half. We got a lot to break down, and if you're new to this channel, you're going to come to this channel for the very best in hockey analytics and breakdowns. We're going to break down some of the scores from the games. We're going to break down some of the analytics. We're going to talk all about what you will not hear in the general media about these games. So let's go. Let's get after it. Also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget we're sponsored by BetUS. 125% deposit bonus to bet on your favorite team, whether it's the Bruins, the Canes, the Bolts, or the Leafs. Lots of you out there in Leafs Nation. Use the link down below or code HGS and get to recreational gambling if you're over the age of majority. Boston and Carolina, this game lived up to the billing. Battle of two defensive teams. Battle of two absolutely incredible penalty kills and just well-coached, thought-out, fundamental hockey. If you want to know how to play hockey in the year 2022, I would point you to the Carolina Hurricanes. They play a near-perfect game. Look, Bruins fans, we're going to get to the incredible overshot and overperformance. You cracked the code. You cracked the Carolina code. We'll get there. But I got to start with the Canes because really, we were watching something special. The first thing to note with the Canes is when Rod Brind'Amour is your coach, for those you young guys watching this who may not have seen Rod Brind'Amour, basically he has copied himself 20 times and put himself out on the ice, especially with this forward group. It's incredible. They play the game exactly like Brind'Amour did. Nobody plays it like Brind'Amour. He is just an absolute freak. But Rod the Bot has taught these guys to play the right way, and it works. It very much works. When you look all down the Carolina roster, as you will, there's a whole bunch of names. Vincent Trocehck comes to mind that come from different teams that end up coming to Carolina and they become superstars. And I believe that is because of what Brind'Amour is able to bring out of players. We talk about straight lines, we talk about team defense, we talk about support, and we talk about net front presence when we talk about Brind'Amour. And that is the Canes' identity. And that's what they did tonight. That's why they won. The second thing that I take away from the Canes tonight, and Canes fans, you're not going to like this. Bruins fans, you're not going to like it when I get to you. I don't think either goalie was very good. Raanta gets first star. That's fine. I understand why. He stopped a lot of shots. Now, you may be sitting there throwing things at your phone or whatever you watch YouTube on right now going, what the hell? You're crazy. I am not. I am a high performance coach. I'm pretty good at breaking this stuff down. So stick with me. You'll either believe me or you won't at the end, but I got some proof with it. Raanta, look, it's more than just about stopping the shots. And I know people are going to think that's silly down below in the comments. Your whole job is to stop them. Yes, it is, but he was shaky. He was very, very shaky. He spent way too much time across his own goal line. Too many pucks snuck through that theoretically shouldn't have snuck through. And a lot of the shots that he saved, he had the ability to see them and get an angle on them. At the end of the day, I think Raanta did very well because of the defensive structure of the Carolina Hurricanes. You're not going to change my mind on that. The team defense of Carolina is that damn good. Now, Boston may have got shots, and I think that was smart on Bruce Cassidy's part. I think it was smart on the Bruins' part. Just throw everything at the net because Raanta is shaky. Look, it didn't work out this game, but it may work out next game. They cracked the code of a team that is used to limiting shots to under 28. They absolutely cracked it. The Bruins did, and they were able to generate 36. 8 more shots is quite a bit. Now, that doesn't mean Carolina's going to lose this series or eventually it's going to flip to Boston's way. And that doesn't mean I don't like Raanta, but he is no Freddie Andersen. And frankly, sometimes he made me really nervous with the rebounds and the fundamentals he did in the net. So if you're a basic hockey fan and you just look at the fact that, he stopped the puck good enough, that's great. No problem. I will concede. I can't out-argue that. But if you want to kind of level up to another spot, you got to really watch at the positioning and what the goalie was doing versus what the team was doing. I think the team bailed out the goalie. I think the goalie did good enough to win. Good enough to win. If you're a Carolina fan, you don't really care about any of that anyway, but he's got to tighten it up going forward. He looks basically the same way he did in April. No hot shakes, but damn, is this team good. Okay, I spent way too much on Raanta, but I felt there was going to be a lot of comments. The big thing too to focus on Carolina, and we just touched on it a second, it's the team structure of the Canes. If you've been on this channel for a while or you're new to this channel, you hear me talk about 2-on-1 hockey all the time. 2-on-1 hockey is simple. Wherever you are offensively, or defensively, you want to have 2 players to their 1. So on defense, we call that puck pressure, which is the first guy doing the check, the forecheck, the neutral zone forecheck. It's just the guy battling for the puck or laying the bod. The second guy is a stick length away on the defensive side of the puck, which simply means being between the net and the puck. Offensive side of the puck would be being between the offensive net and the puck. You don't want to be there on defense. You want to be between your goalie and your player who is checking. You want to be a stick length away. That is puck support. The puck support guy is then there to take the puck away and move up the ice. The interesting thing about a high-end team is all teams know this. They do, but the Carolina Hurricanes are able to basically play 5 players without position. Stick with me on it. There's wingers, there's centers, there's D. We talk about forwards in terms of F1, F2, F3. F1's the first one on the puck, F2's second one, F3 is the third guy. Duh, D1, D2. Well, we could actually talk about it as player 1 through 5 with the Canes because they replace themselves all over the ice. When the puck changes direction, they automatically create another 2-on-1 on defense, and there is a new puck supporter. The reason centermen are so coveted in the NHL here, Canes fans and Bruins fans, is because centermen who puck support are very, very tough to find. That is what makes an elite centerman. What up, Patrice Bergeron? When you know the difference between your role as support, which is a very defensive-minded centerman, and every centerman should be doing it, they just don't. That is what makes their job harder. But when you have a team like Carolina where everybody can basically play every position with the exception of the faceoff, because the faceoff is just where you line up. Now you have a team that is very hard to handle, and that is what Carolina does better than anybody, and that is why they beat the Bruins tonight. That's why they're a bad mismatch for the Bruins. My goodness, can these guys replace each other like nobody's business? The other part about Carolina, you got to look at the fact that their PK is just legendary. This may be the best penalty kill we've ever seen in hockey. These guys are aggressive. On the penalty kill, you want to be aggressive on the puck. Exactly the same way I talked about 5-on-5 creating 2-on-1s, you can do it on the kill. Here's a fun fact, Carolina fans, and some of you may know this. When you're playing 5-on-4 and you're the team with 4 because you've watched it all year, you want to go ahead and put pressure man to man to man to man to man. You want to take your 4 men and take out their 4. As soon as you see them, they're back, they turn around or they fumble a puck, first guy's pressuring. Second guy pressures the outlet pass. Third guy pressures the outlet pass. Fourth guy pressures the outlet pass. That's 3 different players that are covered. Or you're aggressively trying to turn the puck over. Both Carolina does better than anybody in the league. And guess what? If it sneaks through 8 players, right? Everybody's got a man except one man is open. You might be going, well, this is really stupid, coach, just leaving a guy open in front of the net. Yes, that's exactly what it be. If you pressure, everybody goes. Carolina does it. If you sneak through 8 players, you go to the front of the net. Bravo, golf clap, you get a chance on net, maybe you score. That's how you penalty kill in the modern day NHL, and these guys do it better than anybody else. The second thing they do better than anybody else, and it is a lot easier for me to talk about than it is to do, they stand them up at the line. You do not allow zone entry on a penalty kill. You got to pressure at the blue line, force them to dump it in. Every dump in on a power play is a win for the defense, and my goodness, is Carolina good at doing that. These guys do not back into the zone at any point, and it is very hard for hockey players team because guess what? 1-on-1 defensively, you step up. 2-on-1 defensively, you back in and contain. So even on a penalty kill, your animal reptilian brain that has been told you back in because you're outnumbered, players back in, but not Carolina. They stay on that line, and that is why their kill is so good. 2 more points for Carolina. Their defense is incredible. I mean, Slavin and Deangelo are just, what a combination of offense. These guys pressure, but they pressure at the right times. Look, on the power play, I think they're kind of weak, to be honest. Like, and Canes fans, go ahead and get on me, but those were bad. Those are just bad power plays. I'm impressed with Carolina's power play all year. I'm not impressed now. I get Brindamore has said, look, it got bad in April, but if we get back to what we're doing, we'll be fine. I'm not a huge fan of it. That's okay. I'm a huge fan of a lot of other things. But Deangelo and Slavin, what a pairing. Just incredible. And then just all the way down the lineup, it is very, very good. That is why Raanta ends up looking as good as he does. I mean, it's not just the defense, though. It's the team defense. It's the team unity of the Carolina Hurricanes. The depth of this team is just incredible. And finally, the last thing, Seth Jarvis. This guy's elite. Game breaking, elite, it's done. Take it to the bank. Even if he's not there yet, this kid is going to light up the NHL for years. He is Brad Marchand, but not a pest, if that makes any sense. Marchand is the best comp I can give to him because if you take away, the rat tendencies of Marchand's game, Bruins fans, I love it. I've been a Marchand fan forever. But if you take away those tendencies, you got Seth Jarvis, who's actually slightly faster than Marchand, and he does it at all ends of the ice. He's a defensive player. He's an offensive player. Jarvis plays the game the right way. Brendan Moore's got him going. He's forced his way into the lineup. He's the X factor of this series for the Canes. On to the Bruins. Look, the Bruins did great today breaking down the Canes with shots. And at the end of the day, Bruins fans, nothing to panic about here. Everybody knows it. The home team won game one. You can lose both games at home. You just got to win your games at home and then steal one if you're the Bruins. So the home team is supposed to win. They have an advantage. The Carolina Hurricanes, like, their fans are always on fire. Like, what a team. But the Bruins, veteran team, calm, no panic about this. This was the right play by Bruce Cassidy and this group. The unfortunate thing that happened is they were unable to capitalize, especially on the first 9 shots of the game, out shooting them 9-1, and their power play couldn't get going. You got to get that power play going. Somehow you got to break down the wall that is the Carolina Hurricanes penalty kill. So here we are on TSN.com. You just go over to TSN.com if you're American. I mean, this to me is the best site going. You go ahead, you click Boston here, and now you can see where these shots come from. We always talk about a home plate, and here's my ugly home plate in baseball. These are the chances that matter in here. These are the chances you want. And you can see the one that ends up going in here. What a beautiful shot by Taylor Hall. That was a great one. We'll talk about Raanta blew that one in my opinion. But all these shots on the outside, these are junk shots. It doesn't matter. And when a team is this good defensively as Carolina is, these pucks just aren't going to go in. So the amount of shots that you can keep to the outside on your goalie, the better chance you have to win. So yes, there was a lot of shots, but they weren't quality shots in my opinion. These ones in the middle, high quality chances. Let's switch it over to Carolina and see. Look, Boston, you did a great job defensively. The Bruins did awesome. I mean, this isn't a lot of chances. The problem with these chances is something we call the Royal Road. The Royal Road is a line that you basically draw down the middle of the ice. I'm sorry it's not straight. It's embarrassingly crooked. But as soon as a puck crosses that Royal Road, whether it's going this way or this way, you get the point. As soon as the puck crosses that Royal Road, it becomes a deadly shot, and that is the most likely opportunity you have to score, and Carolina scored a lot of goals this way. The second most likely way to score is a tip or a shot in front, and we know that first goal down here by Seth Jarvis was just a nasty tip. So Ullmark started off pretty good, but frankly fell off. If you were watching the ESPN broadcast, you heard Ray Ferraro say it, Ullmark's been quite good, but this goal down here from behind it, I don't know. Bruins fans, you've heard me say this on this channel repeatedly if you've been here, that I think Swayman is the guy. Now, Ullmark was hot going in. He was hot for the first half, but you can't let a goal in below the line. I don't care if it goes off the back of your helmet. That's a terrible goal. You can't do that. Every other goal that ended up going in, they were damn good goals. Let's be honest. They either crossed the Royal Road or had a nasty tip. So the Boston team defense has to step up and help you with that one. But in the playoffs, if you're going to win it, you need a goalie that's going to battle through and find it. Ullmark's going to play the next game. It'll be fine. But if he blows it, Swayman's in for game 3. So Ferraro can say Ullmark played as well as he wanted. Like I said, neither of your fan groups are going to like me for picking on the goalies, but look, we give goalies a lot of a pass in hockey because it's all about the team. That's just a mentality to keep a goalie right up here. Let's be honest, the goalie is a big part of the team, but he's playing an individual game within a team game, and you need your goalie to stand on his feet, and you need him to control rebounds, and you need him to make the saves that he's going to make. All right, let's move over to my other favorite website, naturalstattrick.com. What are we here for? We're here to take a look at the Corsi. Corsi matters here. Look, the Bruins should have won this game with a shot count, but this is why we play the game, right? High quality chances versus just chances. So the Bruins end up getting a 53% Corsi, as you can see down here, versus the 43% Corsi or 46% Corsi for the Canes. The ironic thing here is that the high danger chances were the same. So both teams had a lot of high danger chances that should have gone in, which is making a case that Raanta had a good game, right? Hey, contradicting yourself. Still shaky in my opinion. And then you take a look here at the expected goals for. Boston theoretically should have won this game, so you got to feel good if you're a Bruins fan. But again, you got to watch the game with context in order to get it. Can't just be a stat sheet warrior. So very interesting to see that the high danger chances were identical in this game. All right, let's bugger over here to show you this save by Antti Raanta. Look, puck is down here, and you can see he's going to end up bumping it out to his buddy. This is what we call the wrong side of the puck. The right side of the puck would have been over here. So if you're on the wrong side of the puck here, you shouldn't be reaching in. He actually should have been corralling over here to the middle. That is what is needed to done in order to get it. And then you got to sneak over here and watch Charlie Coyle. It's a 3-on-3. You're just going man up right now. But they don't end up doing that. They actually end up leaving Craig Smith wide open. This is not an ideal back check right now, especially because of the side of the puck you're on. You just want to go ahead and pick up the third guy. we go ahead and we speed it up here. And then you can see, like, this is why I said, like, this is a bad back check. Now you're completely out of position, and now you're kind of screwed over here, because what you should be doing for this shot is you should be looking low pad side here, because low pad side, this is going to pop out over here. We call that a pop pass. That's going to be a goal. That shot, though, ends up down low, and this is a simple save. Look, the shot ends up hitting him on the left side pad over here, and now he's looking for it. This is what I meant by Swiss cheese. I get goalies always miss it at this point, but this is a fundamental save. You get down into your butterfly, you control the rebound. The shooter, Smith, should have been shooting far pad side. He shot close pad side. Not a good shot by Boston, but it ends up trickling through. Carolina, though, does the absolute right thing by getting onto it there and saving the goal and tying it up. And I don't really like the path here that the Bruins player ended up taking. Like, jam the net, man. Jam the net. Go behind the goalie. You end up putting it in, but he takes this weird route. Goal doesn't go in. Look, I kind of saw this all game. I don't want to sit here throwing endless examples at you guys about this, but I've seen plays like this all game by Raanta. This is why I'm saying I feel he was shaky. You're going to agree or disagree at this point. So you want to know what we talked about when we said widening the zone? I know this is 5-on-5, but this is what we call widening the zone. So it goes from one side all the way over to the other side, and you'll see it just beautiful. 1, 2, right down to the bottom. This is what you want to do when it comes to widening a zone. And this forces Ullmark to make 3 angle changes, right? One, he's over here, 2, he's over here, and then 3, he's got to come all the way back over here. You've also seen the puck cross the Royal Road, which immediately makes this a very dangerous shot. And then the second thing you're going to get the top of it is you're going to get Mr. Jarvis in front here. Winnipeg, Manitoba boy, he gets a stick on it. This is basically every goalie's nightmare. And right away, what you can see here is with the puck at the top of the screen, I mean, look, Ullmark trying to find the puck. He can't find it. He can't see it. Everybody's in his way. It's crossing the Royal Road. It's changing. He ends up actually getting a good, decent chance to get into position here. And the fact that he gets to see the puck is pretty incredible. But I mean, that hand-eye coordination right there on Seth Jarvis, unbelievable. You're not going to stop that, Ullmark. So here's another angle change. It's the Bruins goal, and it's Raanta. We're going to pick on him again here. The puck's behind the net here, and then it's going to get put out to the top to Taylor Hall. This is a very hard angle change to deal with. I understand that. This is just as bad as the Royal Road. As soon as you change this angle, the shot percentage chance goes up. Right now, you have Raanta on the goal line. This is where he should be. That's no problem. This is exactly what you want to do. The issue is that when it goes up to the top of the circle, he stays there. So he gets up. You can see it in a little blurry here. He gets up into his full stance, and then he's going to shrink back down. He shrinks right back down in his butterfly. He's actually got to push out one more step and get big. He's not getting big here. He didn't trust. He didn't push out. So he ends up not. And then what you can see is he's still, you know, slightly out, but he's in the blue paint. That's not where you want to be from a shot from this distance. So he had a really challenging shot, but he doesn't use what we call a V push out in order to get there and make just the save that needed to be made. So then he ends up having a hole, and this puck goes in. And here's the better angle to see it. Look how small in the net he is. This is why angles matter. Those side things that we see in TV, you give forgiveness. I don't as a hockey coach, because if you push out another foot here, you take away at least 30 or 40% more of that net, and you can see a lot of net here. That's why it ends up scoring. Good goal by the Bruins, but he goes down, he gets small. He didn't have a chance to get up and set his butterfly. It's tough when it comes from the front to there, but a strong elite goalie is going to be able to make that push out there anyway. They may not make the save because it's a difficult save, but fundamentals. Okay, so where do I leave this series? It's just one game. Carolina did their job. The Bruins did their job. They got a lot of shots. Unfortunately, it's not a confidence builder, but nothing to worry about in Bruins land, because a veteran team like the Bruins, they'll shake that off. Bruce Cassidy and team, they'll be back next game. It'll be a totally different game. I predict next game will be pretty close, but I don't know. This Carolina team is something else, and they seem to have the Bruins number. They remain undefeated against the Bruins, and if you're counting right now, that's 21 goals for Carolina, 2 for Boston this season if you count the playoffs. I don't know what more to say. Thanks for being here, guys. All right, Bolts, Leafs. Leafs Nation, what did we say in our last video? Again, you're probably new to being here. I said the key to this series for Toronto, very simply, is you got to stay out of the muck. Do not engage in physicality with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Don't bite, don't eat on it, nothing. Let it go, skate away. Wayne Simmons, great job doing it today. We'll get into the fight and all the fun stuff there. But the reason I say that is you got to let sleeping giants lay. The game of the Tampa Bay Lightning is nasty, it's big, it's heavy. The game of the Maple Leafs is skill and speed, and it's zone to zone through all 3 zones. We call it the fast zone in the neutral zone. You got the work zone, the D zone, the fast zone in the neutral zone, and the fun zone, which is the offensive zone zone. Well, they get through the fast zone quicker than anybody the Maple Leafs do. And I understand that Tampa Bay is hyper skilled as well too, but you still want to play Tampa Bay skill on skill. You do not want to play Tampa Bay in an aggressive game. And it's like Sheldon Keefe told his team to do this. Big golf clap there for Leafs and Leafs Nation. That's the way you do it. That was the game. Until we get into the scrum, which we'll talk about in the third period, the first 2.5 periods, the Leafs did that. And we'll talk about Kyle Clifford as well too. But for the most part, the Leafs did it. The big turnaround for the Leafs, we all know, is going to be their speed. Their north to south speed is incredible. And Alexander Kerfoot, what a revelation. Michael Bunting is out. That hurts. But it really goes to show that the line is all about Marner and Matthews. Bunting's a great player. Kerfoot comes out. He's a great player in his own sense. This guy has some north to south speed like I've never seen. I mean, unbelievable. We'll get into the penalty kill, all the great things the Leafs did. But at the end of the day here, Bolts fans are going to be saying this, and everybody in the hockey world is saying this, in my opinion. Well, the Bolts lost one game. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. We're going to hear that because the Bolts are the Stanley Cup champions. And when you get 2 back-to-back cups and you have the roster the Bolts have, everybody is going to tell you it's just one game. Don't get too high. Just wait until it's over. And then they're going to tell you, I always knew it was the Leafs. Yeah, right. Whatever, pal. But we said on this channel that the Leafs, and frankly, we called Leafs fans a little bit nihilist. Don't be so down on your team, right? There was a lot of guys, worried about this first round exit. And I get it's only one game, so I'm pumping the brakes too. But I said, look, everybody in hockey is a boring fan, me included. That's not a shot to anybody. We're boring. We look at the past and go, the past did this, and my idea of hockey is big, heavy hockey, and that's what the Bolts bring, and until somebody beats the Bolts, we're not going to move on. Like I said, nobody could beat the New York Islanders until Gretzky showed up, and Gretzky even had to lose 1 year before they got to win. Nobody could beat Gretzky until Lanny McDonald show up, and nobody could beat the Bolts until maybe the Leafs show up? Question mark. But the point is that as hockey fans, announcers, whoever we do, we really focus on the past way too much. The new hotness has to win at some point, right? Well, tonight, I think the Leafs ended up taking it to the Bolts. So I am not going to make the excuse that everybody's going to make that it's just one game, or that, hey, the Leafs were at home, or that maybe the Bolts, it's okay, they'll be back there next game. This was a statement for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Watching this game as a coach, I can tell you, this was a kicking. Top to bottom, this is the Toronto Maple Leafs playing their game. And frankly, they've been in the ring a few times with teams like this. Like, sometimes when you get into the ring, and I know it's the rink, but we're going to use a boxing reference. Sometimes when you get into the ring a couple times, it takes a few times of getting punched to realize that, like, maybe you should just play your game and you got this. When a boxer with light feet boxes against a boxer with heavy hands, you're nervous about those heavy hands and you may not fight your fight. I think that's been the Toronto Maple Leafs the last 2 or 3 years. They weren't playing their game in the playoffs. No points for Matthews, no points for Marner. Wasn't the Leafs team that I had been watching, and I am not a Leafs fan. Take a look at the back. So before everybody calls me biased, East, whatever, I'm a Jets fan, but I'm on the Leafs bandwagon here. I'll be fully transparent right now. So the Leafs end up taking it to them, and they take it to them with skill and speed. They let their footwork do the talking, and they got away from the crap. You got to make sure you do. Kyle Clifford, step 1, do not make that hit on Ross Colton. That was embarrassing, and it's not embarrassing or travesty of the game. Look, I thought Scheifele's hit on Jake Evans was clean all day. I love physical hockey. I love the Bolts for physical hockey. I was all about what Maroon and Perry were doing in there. Trust me, that's the way the game's played. But Kyle Clifford, you're a 4th line player. I get you're trying to make a statement. The hit on Jan Rutta was good. The hit on Ross Colton was a waste of time. Again, let sleeping giants sleep. Ross Colton is a tough player. Everybody on the Bolts is tough. You're not going to bang them around to the point where they quit, cry, and go home. That's never going to happen to the Bolts. You beat them on the scoreboard. So it was really nerve-wracking when that happened, because I was like, oh no, 5-minute power play, and this is going to change the game for the worse or the better. I know I'm hedging my bet there, but if you can kill a 5-minute penalty, it changes the entire game. It's better than scoring on a power play. It's better than anything. You don't want to take 5-minute penalties. That's stupid. That was a stupid penalty, but when you kill it, incredible. And that kill was utterly incredible. The speed that the Toronto Maple Leafs used was amazing. Next to the Carolina Hurricanes who played tonight, that might be the greatest penalty killing I have ever seen. And we talked about it with the Canes and the Bruins. So if you didn't listen to that part of the video, killing penalties is very difficult, but the concept is easy. It's like losing weight, right? Less calories in, go to the gym. We know what to do, but we don't all do it, me included. But Penalty killing, the concept is simple, aggressive. As soon as you see a back or as soon as you see a puck bobble or a fumble, you pressure. And then all 4 players need to pressure, not the singular puck. All 4 players pressure their other players to take away outlets, turn the puck over, get a breakaway, get going the other way. And the Leafs did that incredible tonight. Incredible penalty killing that way. Now you might be saying, what about the guy open in front? Like there's 4 guys, there's 5 guys. So if 4 take 4, there's 1 left. Look at the graphics, right? All hands. Yeah, there is. And if you can get it through 8 guys to the front of the net, congratulations, golf clap, you scored. Very simple. That's the kill, and the Leafs executed it beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. There were more breakaways and 2-on-1s for the Toronto Maple Leafs because of that aggressive penalty kill than you can shake a stick at. And that's what I mean by learning the swagger. Now we're here. Look, they came out with confidence. They didn't come out all shriveled up going, oh my God, we're playing the Tampa Bay Lightning and I don't know if we can beat them. They were normal. They played their normal game. They just shrugged it off completely. The next big thing that was huge is Matthews and Marner. Look, they found their game. Again, young guys take time. Remember, Alexander Ovechkin took 1 billion years to win a Stanley Cup. Crosby did it right away. McDavid hasn't done it. And we all talk about Pat Maroon's cups, which are fantastic. I mean, unbelievable. But you're dust until you're not dust. And right now, Matthews and Marner stepped up and put in a lot of points. Auston Matthews is the best player on the ice right now. I know Bolts fans are going to get on me. Steven Stamkos' career year. Stamkos is quietly etching out one of the greatest careers in NHL history. He's amazing. But Matthews is on another level. It's another degree. The way he skates, the way he plays this game, the way he shoots. Even though Tampa Bay is that talented, Auston stands out to me as a coach where I'm like, he skates 3 times around guys and I'm like, that's the best player on the ice. It's not a question. That's the guy. He's the number 1 player on the ice right now. So it's good he is. Mitch Marner took some lessons from my video where he didn't watch it, but we had a video previously where we talked about heavy hockey and how small guys like Mitch Marner can overcome heavy hockey. You just take the hit and keep skating forward. It's that simple. Like Ross Colton got up when Clifford hit him. You just take the hit and keep moving. Unless your leg is broken or you're dead, the only option you have as a small guy like Mitch Marner is to keep going forward and score, and Marner did that tonight. The other big thing about this game is the power play. We talked about this. Look, the referees finally called a game that was just normal. This wasn't playoff refereeing. So Bolts fans, if you take issue to this, it's kind of fair because most of the time in the playoffs you're like, put the whistle away, but this ref was calling everything. He was calling it all. I mean, that cross check on Kucherov, normally in the playoffs, I'll be honest, I don't ever believe that's ever called, but this year seems to be called in this series. I didn't see a lot of it called in the Carolina-Boston series, but I saw a lot of it called in this series. So hey, it's only 1 game in, but they paraded guys to the box. It was incredible. And the Leafs power play went to work. We said that if the Leafs skate away and stay out of the box, they can go to work and do damage. Mikheyev is quite the player. Mikheyev has to learn to start striding. He just can't reach in and pull guys. That is bad. That is lazy hockey. Mikheyev had a great game, but he's really going to have to settle down, calm himself down, and realize, all right, man, I'm going to chill out a little bit here. Take 2 more strides and play the game. You know how you play it. That just wasn't his normal way to go. Kasha ends up coming back. He looked great. I mean, Mr. Conky 10,000 times, but huge addition into the lineup. Engvall does his normal thing, as you want to call it. I mean, he's a rising player who is going to be a top 6 or a middle 6 player for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He really is, but it's all about Kerfoot at this point. I mean, that guy set the tone. We know Matthews, we know Marner did. The monkey is off their back. The monkey is off the back of the Leafs in general. Their power play worked, their penalty kill worked. They got away with the physical stuff. Morgan Rielly busted the absolute hell out of the Tampa Bay Lightning player. Hopefully he didn't break his hand. Again, we'll get into that, but everything went well for the Leafs. Now, the Corey Perry, Matt Maroon, Wayne Simmons, Morgan Rielly, who else was out there? Ruda, the clown show, the gong show, as you want to call it. I didn't like that for Toronto. Toronto fans are going nuts in the building. Hardcore hockey fans love it because you end up winning the scrum. There's blood. You're winning the game. You don't want to do this, Toronto. I'm not a hater against this type of stuff. Perry and Maroon are 2 of my favorite players in the league, but they're doing their job. You've already lost the game. So what are Perry and Maroon going to do? They're going to step in and try to agitate skill guys, and your skill guys are out there. Morgan Rielly is too important. If you lose Morgan Rielly, John Tavares, Mitch Marner, or Auston Matthews, you're boned. You cannot recover from top players leaving. I truly believe that's why you ended up losing to the Habs last year when Tavares went out. You need your horses in the stable, and that's not a Leafs thing. That's an NHL thing. Your horse has got to be in the stable. If you lose an elite center or an elite defenseman or an elite winger, it is really tough to make up for it with depth, no matter how many Kerfoots and Mikheyevs you have. So Morgan Rielly ends up getting into it when Wayne Simmonds skates away. Wayne Simmonds did the right thing, but I guess looking back, maybe he should have just tied it up and that would have ended it. Pat Maroon ends up ragdolling Morgan Rielly, and Maroon's a tough customer, and I'm sitting there going, no, get away, Morgan. Morgan's a tough customer himself, but Maroon's something else. And then another scrum starts when they end up going to break. We see the replay, and Rielly absolutely just busts open the Lightning player. But then I'm just sitting there going, is his hand okay? Is his hand okay? And he's got an ice pack on and it's bleeding. Look, maybe it's okay. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor, but these are small, little, tiny bones, and one wrong punch, one wrong thing, and the series could be over because you lose a number one defenseman. So the Lightning, I truly think, get the better of that one. But if Rielly's hand is okay and everything's fine, then it's a huge motivational swing for the Leafs. To me, the risk reward of the motivation pickup versus the hand breaking isn't there. That's why I'm on this train of just try not to engage with Tampa Bay, skate away. Look, Tampa Bay is the visiting team here. Not a big deal for the Bolts. Same thing as the Bruins. The Bolts come out, they only get 23 shots. That's not good. That's not like the Bolts. 5 shots in the first period, 7 shots in the third, but the game's already over at that point. So you're just looking to fight. You gotta give Tampa Bay their credit. You do. So I'm going to be the boring hockey fan. I'm going to tell everybody, calm down. It's one game. You're the home team. You use the home ice advantage properly. It was great. But the longer this series goes and the more physical Tampa Bay makes it, especially against guys like Rielly, the scarier it gets for me. But that was a statement game for the Leafs. Huge. When we go over to the Leafs shots here, when we were looking at offense, again, we draw this home plate, and the home plate basically, I mean, tuck it in. It comes from the circles, but it looks like a baseball diamond coming from the net. Almost every shot from the Leafs is in here, and these are the highest quality shots you can get. They're just deadly, deadly chances. That says a lot about the Tampa Bay team defense. And Tampa Bay fans said, how dare you tell me the Leafs team defense is better than Tampa Bay's? I said in April, it was performing better. Look at the shot chart. I'm not out to lunch, folks. I can watch this game with the best of them. I mean, it's just the way it goes. That was very clear. The team defense from Tampa Bay, thumbs down today. Wasn't good, hasn't been good in April, continues to not be good. It's a problem. Could they fix it? At any time, because they're the Tampa Bay Lightning. Conversely, take a look at the Toronto team defense. Like I said, Toronto has been quite good at keeping pucks out of there. And yes, most of the shots are in the home plate, but this isn't a lot of shots. It's only 23. They limited them. It was really, really good. This is Jack Campbell on his game, keeping rebounds in. Guesser Jack, that's all right. This was really nicely done by the team defense of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if you're wondering what team defense is, it isn't the 2 defensemen. It's all 5 players plus the goalie. It's how the unit itself performs as a group. Couple things to note here over natural stat trick. The Corsi 4 for the Leafs was only 45. The Corsi for the Lightning was 54. How could the Lightning have better Corsi with the Leafs just tearing them apart? Well, it's very simple. Corsi takes into account the chances that don't make it to the net. It's just if you put more pucks towards the net, you likely are going to have a better chance to score. And that's why this Corsi is overinflated. But again, you got to watch the game to get the context here. The Leafs team defense kept those pucks away from the net. So Corsi doesn't tell you everything that you need to know, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking to know that Tampa wasn't as bad as you may think. The high danger chances were also almost 50%. So even though it felt like the Leafs had more high danger chances, they didn't. It was only 7-6. That's it's not bad. But Vasilevsky, like we talked about in April, he wasn't super strong in April and he wasn't super strong today. This wasn't the Andrei Vasilevsky we know, but we have a long period of time going in this playoff. So shrug it off and we move forward. But hey, that's a big one for the Leafs. I want to spend a little bit of time showing you the brilliance of the penalty kill here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And what you see here, we were talking about this in the Carolina game. Look, this is called the line stack. You actually want to have these guys posted up closer to the blue line. So checkbox, this is good. I like the pressure that's coming from here. But the defensemen need to stand up. You need to create a wall here in order to turn that puck over at the line. But the Leafs do some sneaky stuff here. As that puck moves over to Braden Point, look what happens with this turnover. That's why you don't want to be backing in. Look, you're not covering anybody right now. You're giving up the line. So really great job by the elite penalty killers of the Toronto Maple Leafs here, standing it up, because your puck's right here and it causes a problem for Point. You want the log jam across the blue line. You want to have all 5 players here across the blue line. You just want these guys poked up here so you have 9. Now that puck does squeak out past Mitch Marner here, and because our defenseman is back, he's actually able to pick it up. This is good in this sense. That's why I mean this is good. This could be a set play by the Maple Leafs. I like stacking 4. If Sheldon Keefe wants to back him out because he thinks his 2 forwards are going to be aggressive enough to turn it over, who am I to tell him he's wrong? Because it ends up working here. And because he is able to get back and get that puck, now what you see is Tampa Bay is too hyper aggressive because they stacked 5 across the line. You don't want to stack 5 across the line, especially causing a turnover at the blue line, because bad things happen, and bad things ended up happening here. Marner ends up off to the races here, and now what you end up seeing is Victor Hedman. Look how much bigger Hedman is than everybody else. This makes no sense. The guy's a monster. But Marner ends up going down and makes an absolutely beautiful pass here. I love that they ended up activating and jumping in here. This is aggressive penalty kill 101, and this is why I'm saying the Bolts were on their heels the entire game. The Leafs beat them. That simple. Later on, same penalty kill. McAvoy just absolutely rocks him here. What you'll see is, again, they're backing in too far, but again, it's freaking working, so don't change it. What I love here is that they're able to cut off this angle. So again, this looks practice to me because now you have 3 Leafs players here and they've created a wall. I talked about this when I said get aggressive, right? You see backs or bobbles, get aggressive. And that's what the Leafs do here. They converge 3 players on 2 and they turn the puck over. This is penalty killing 101. It's absolutely the first fundamental penalty killing is getting aggressive at the right times. As that puck transitions down the wall, we create a 2-on-1 down low. We talk about these 2-on-1s all the time. You can create 2-on-1s on penalty kills. Anywhere on the ice you can create 2-on-1s. The more 2-on-1s you create on the ice, the more likelihood it is you're going to win the game. Offensive, defensive, penalty kill, it doesn't matter. This game is about 2-on-1s. Absolutely beautiful hit there by McAvoy. You love everything you see. And now you have 3-on-3 in the corner. It's aggressive. It's 3-on-3 down low. That's exactly what you want. This is what I mean by send all the dogs home. Send them all, send the buds, and you end up leaving the zone with numbers. On that power play, I want to draw your attention to Auston Matthews. I've always called this guy a great white shark. It'll never catch on. Nobody will ever agree with me, but he's like that. He's like hunting for his prey. Matthews ends up moving the puck here down low. And as soon as Matthews does, you watch him do this all year. This is just his signature move. He ends up pissing off with a little J hook here and just leaves your screen. And that is so smart. It just gets the Tampa Bay defenders to just forget about him for a minute. Even though it's a 5-on-3, it's brilliant because you lose him. As soon as a guy pivots away, your brain just says, he's not a threat anymore. You love to see it here. And look at him turn off. Look at that. Look at that. I love it. It's just nobody else does this in the league. He just pisses off. Bye-bye. Now you're playing a 5-on-4 down low. And Matthews is going to end up stepping back. Everybody has forgotten about him. Nobody is shoulder checking because he is so far away. Look, I know you're supposed to be watching the puck, but there should be a shoulder check. There's no shoulder check because you've forgotten about Matthews. And then obviously Auston steps up 2 seconds later. And again, look, I mean, he knows too late, way too late that Matthews is coming in, and Matthews ends up burying it on that 5-on-3. Look, it's something else, guys. Bolts fans on this channel, we will definitely do a better job breaking down the Bolts when they don't get beat up 5-0 at this point. But that was a tough game if you're a Bolts fan. Great game if you're from Leafs Nation or a Toronto Maple Leaf. This is only game 1. I absolutely cannot wait for game 2. What an exciting start to the playoffs.